What's up, everybody? Welcome to System Crafters Live. I'm David Wilson, and I'm the guy that constantly screws up the beginning of the stream. And we're back again for another stream where I screw up the stream constantly, as usual. So yeah, what happened just now? What happened just now is that I forgot to change the stream key in OBS. So I started streaming on the unscheduled endpoint for YouTube, and that's why you saw like a second stream go up. But we're in the right one now. I think that most of you are here, which is good. Let's see if everything goes okay here. First of all, you're looking at Geeks. I finished the installation after the stream was over. After the system install went, all the way to the end, I booted into the system. I installed my home configuration, and everything was back up again. I mean, I had to do set up my GPG key and copy some files over, but for the most part, it was just ready to go. So that's nice. It's nice when something works, but it just didn't work over the course of the 3 hours of the stream that we did yesterday. We could talk more about that. I just saw something Judy said. Good thing this isn't on stream video. Yeah, what isn't on stream video? This is gonna be on stream video. Oh, you mean your chat on Twitch? I see. Anyway, yes. So I don't know. I had fun on the stream yesterday. It was an impromptu stream. I didn't tell anybody I was going to do it. I did mention it in the System Crafters IRC, but I didn't say it anywhere else. I just spawned a stream and started reinstalling Geeks on my main laptop. I can say more about that if people ask. But yeah, we didn't really make as much progress as I thought. I thought we would just, install Geeks really quickly, maybe in like 20, 30 minutes, and then I would be back to, working on some code. But apparently not. It was not going to work in my favor that day. Yes, Judy. I'm surprised at how fast the spam bots showed up this time. Near Transmission says, is there a reason you're not using Gitter? Why Gitter? Let me see here. Okay, so let me just get into the usual flow of things. I'll say hello to the folks who are here so far. Let's see. Hello to Jeff, Shom, Pie the Sailor, Gun, Glenn, Jabo, Judy, Cow. Let's see. Benoit. Who am I missing here? Dave. And then on the other side, I have Valentino, Neuron Transmission, Data Monoid, Amante, the Twitch spammer, whose name I won't call out. Let's see, Arnaud, Minas Mazar, Appenzel. Yes, thank you all for being here. Appreciate it. So I guess you actually did mean, why am I not using Gitter? I mean, do people use Gitter anymore? Like, I was using Gitter back in 2016, but I don't really think, do people use it? The one place where I actually did use it a fair amount was the Gambit Scheme chat, because that was the place where you could go chat about Gambit Scheme. But other than that, there was never any place that used Gitter that much. SpaceMax uses it? I see, okay. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. All right. Yeah, we just use IRC. IRC is good enough. I mean, it would be nice to use the combination of IRC and Matrix, but, as we saw, that wasn't destined to stick around. Pi says that stream from yesterday on YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube. I actually need to hide it because for all the new live streams that we're going to do where I actually stream multiple times per week, I don't really intend for those recordings to be something that shows up on the channel after the fact, because it would be kind of annoying, and I don't really intend to put actual thumbnails or anything useful on them, because it's really just a live stream. It's more ephemeral. So I would prefer just to not have those be in the main feed. However, I'm going to have a playlist for all those live streams where you can go find them if you want to see the recordings, but they just won't show up as a published video on the channel on the recommendations feed and stuff. Put it on the dark channel. Yeah, I should probably have another channel, right? There's people that have 3 channels. They have their main channel, they have their stream recordings channel, they have their shorts channel. feel like it's a little bit overkill. I don't want to have to manage 3 channels. But speaking of shorts, I'm going to try experimenting with some shorts pretty soon, I think. Like just some real quick, you know, Emacs tips, Geeks tips, general system crafting tips sort of thing. It's kind of nice to make a super short video just for one thing that is useful, that I don't want to make like a whole video and try to inflate it to 10 minutes just for one thing. Neurotransmission says shorts are ruining my life. How so? Because they're too clickable? Jabba says, or put it on a PeerTube instance only. Well, I'm definitely not going to be hosting that PeerTube instance myself. Let's see. CMAX says, is the main laptop a Lenovo? And if so, does your function key on the laptop keyboard lock up sway? I have not seen that. That sounds really weird. Yeah, that's what shorts are for. Shorts are supposed to keep you locked into YouTube on piecemeal content. That's the world we live in now. It can have its value, but at the same time, it can also be pretty insidious. Hello to Bill and CMAC and Jake and Einar. Einar says, I've used Sway since 2020 and never had that kind of trouble. Yeah, I've never had that trouble either. I wonder if it's like a weird event thing, like a Wayland event thing. That's the extent to which my intuition tells me. It's a weird Wayland event thing. Super helpful, I know. This is why you come to this channel, for the high quality diagnosis of your problems. Judy says, YouTube's invading my code now, putting shorts into my code. Yes. At least it's Scheme. Or it's hardware. It could be hardware. That'd be pretty scary, though, if it's hardware. You should try booting like a live image of some other, well, maybe install a different desktop environment or something. Gunn says, I lost my patience with NVIDIA and Wayland. Yeah, apparently it's not a good time. I used it for like 20 minutes, and for some reason, it was the message that Sway spits out whenever you load up Wayland, Sway, saying, you know, NVIDIA sucks, more or less. I don't know if it was that or if I actually had a problem, but I just decided to turn off the NVIDIA drivers. Jeff says, although with the author of Hyperland getting banned from free desktop, I might have to consider Sway. Yeah, there's a little bit too much heat around Hyperland right now. That's the thing about software, free software or open source software. The software could be great, but the community around it could be toxic, and that on its own could be enough to not want to use something, which I think is a perfectly valid reason not to use something if you think that the culture around a piece of software is not good. So Dave says, I'm ignorant of the Hyperland drama. Yeah. If you want to read some drama, you could probably go find it. If you don't want to read any drama, then just ignore it. Bigger Edier says, what was the final verdict on the culture of Void? I mean, I haven't seen anything particularly egregious, but still, like, there's kind of a vibe in the IRC. A little bit of a, you know, a little too edgy sometimes, and I think it's borderline. So that's not the reason why I reinstalled Geeks. I reinstalled Geeks just because I realized that I missed using Geeks. I know it's only been 2 weeks, but I'm just very comfortable in Geeks, regardless of the problems, regardless of the fact that it took me almost 3 hours to get a working installation going, considering I'm a person who's used Geeks for 5 years now. It's ideal, you know, for what I want. The fact that I was able to get my system back up into working state without having to like remember what packages to install or remember where to put my configuration files and stuff is pretty nice. Now, obviously, someone can write scripts and, you know, use GNU Sto and other things like that to affect a similar result, but I just got used to Geeks. Jeff says, good thing we have a building community expert here. Yeah, I was given credibility that I don't necessarily know that is completely warranted, but I'll take it, you know. If the Free Software Foundation wants to say that I am a community building expert or person, sure, that's fine. All I care about is the fact that there's nice people around in the community, and people generally seem to have a good time. And you know, we joke around, we have good fun, but nobody's, you know, malicious or a total asshole. And if they are, then I think generally the people who are kind of weird kind of just go away. Maybe because nobody really engages with them in that weird way that they do in other places, you know? I believe that on average, we're probably a more mature bunch of people, like in terms of age and experience and personality. So that probably works in our favor. Drashal says, just curious, why not give a shot to Nix OS? I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, sure. Nix has a lot more stuff, but honestly, I'm just not that interested in using it. I like Geeks. I've been around in Geeks long enough now that it feels like home. And I've also sort of streamlined the way that I use my computer to the extent that it works really well in Geeks. I don't need a bunch of stuff that is hard to get in Geeks. So Glenn says, it's a polite way of saying we are all old. Not all of us. There's plenty of young people around too. But I think that, you know, we're skewing more towards, you know, wise, wizardly type people. Judy says, regarding today's topic, are you planning to wrap Sway message? I originally thought to do that, but then I found there is a sway.el package written by someone in the Emacs community, and it actually talks directly to the Sway socket. So that might actually be interesting to try out. We'll take a look at it. Boo says, Nick seems cool, but it's not Scheme. Yeah, that's one big reason. CMAX says, as a dev, I really, really like Geek Shell. Yeah, I do too. I missed Geek Shell. Geek Shell, I missed, obviously, just configurations in general. And also, like, just having the ability, I know it sounds stupid. The thing that kind of triggered me was I was in Emacs. I was thinking, okay, does this package exist? And I try to hit my key, excuse me, my key binding to go look up a package in the Geeks package repository, like Control-C, capital GP. And it didn't work. I realized, shit, I'm not in Geeks. And then I realized, oh, wow, do I actually want to be using Geeks right now? And the answer was yes. Let's see. What did I miss? Jabba says, I initially switched from GNOME to Sway because of Swaybar. There just wasn't any stability in GNOME extensions, and then I got hooked. Yeah, I feel that Sway is very good. Hello to Dean and Yash. Dean says, I've made Geeks packages, but I never managed to install it on the hardware. You should try it sometime. Judy says, I mean, you could have wrapped Void Package Manager to put that list into Emacs. Yeah, but honestly, it seemed easier to just reinstall Geeks. What can I do? I'm happier now. CMAX says, now checking to see if other package managers have an Emacs integration. I think there's actually one Emacs package that can deal with multiple package managers and do that sort of searching capability. I don't remember what it's called, though. Someone probably does remember. Shom says, happiness is an important distro feature. Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I can do in Geeksland. And I have a lot of time free soon to work on projects. So, you know, seems like it might be worth my time to spend time on Geeks, primarily. Geeks and Guile and everything else. All right. Let's get into the news real quick. First of all, the hands-on Guile Scheme for Beginners April edition course starts this Saturday, if you can believe it. I am still finishing up preparation on that, and also still trying to finish up the previous iteration that's going on. So those of you who've already registered, I will be sending out a message tomorrow with the access to the first chapter of material. If you want to join, you haven't registered yet, you can follow the link there, or just go to the systemcrafters.net and you'll see a link to it on the main page and register. I mean, even if you register like a little bit late, it's fine. But yeah, we'll get started on that tomorrow, and that's an 8-week situation. So we'll be sort of, every 2 weeks, new material will come out. We'll have exercises. We'll have live calls to do Q&A and things of that nature. It's all good fun. I think we've been having a good time in the March iteration so far, but I'm a little bit behind on stuff because, man, I ended up recording 3 hours of material for chapter 3, and I got a little bit burned out, to be honest, after that. So I have to like recharge my battery. And ironically, reinstalling Geeks is one way to recharge my battery. So it just shows you what kind of mental problems we're dealing with here. I also wanted to remind people to sign up for the Spring Lisp Game Jam, which starts on May 17th. This is a very cool event where people get together and hack on games in your Lisp of choice, even if it's one that you're writing yourself. And there's no theme. You could do whatever kind of game you want. I think you can even start with an existing game project you've been working on. There are the rules here, but they're pretty flexible, I think. So it's a 10-day jam, and a lot of people signed up already. I think Dave said on Twitter. Dave said on Fediverse that I think 35 people have signed up so far, myself included. So there's plenty of people who are going to be involved there, and I will be live streaming probably 4 or 5 days of the jam or more, depending on how many days it goes. I'll definitely be live streaming a lot. I don't know what I'll be doing yet, but I'll definitely be using Guile Hoot this time because I want to make a browser game again. Oh, 44 have joined, it says. Okay, so maybe more of you will join, and that number will go up further. But it's definitely a fun event. I highly recommend it. And if you have been looking for a reason to hack on a project with a Lisp language like Guile Scheme or Common Lisp or Clojure or Fennel or any of the others that are out there, it's a great opportunity. Vishal says, wow, I realize your mouse pointer looks small compared to the rest of the screen. Does it look small or does it look huge? So when I switched to Firefox is installed from Flatpak, and I think the mouse cursor looks different there than it does on the Emacs side. Don't ask me why. CMAX says in the chat, looks like System Packages is the package. Yes, I think that's the name that I remember. Drishel says, using IRC is nice in Emacs. Yes, it is, for sure. Ismail says, create a new distro based on Geeks, and Boo says, Geeks is like a meta distro. Pretty much everyone using Geeks has made their own Geeks distro by making their own config. Yeah, that thought crossed my mind earlier today. It's like, when you have a kind of a completed Geeks configuration for your system, you've basically made your own distro at that point, because it is the full configuration of a system that is tailored to what you want, and then you apply it to your system. So technically, it's your distro at that point. However, I am, I got distracted by a chat message. I am still thinking about working on Crafted Geeks, which would be a sort of configuration layer over plain Geeks. So we'll see if we do some more work on that. I would like to, because I think there's some interesting ideas in there that might be pretty useful to people who don't want to go full Geeks on their system. Shom says, is David Will smaller and lower on screen today? I don't know. I keep changing my computer that I'm using. All right, let's see. Hold on. Hold on a second. Let me fix this for you, Shom. All right, how about that? Is that better? Does that look like it's the right size? Maybe this is better. I don't think I can go bigger than that. Can I go bigger than that? Okay, I think that's better, right? Can you see the words? I think you can read that, right? It's okay. I'm just kidding. There we go. Is that the lid camera? No. That is the Is this sarcasm? Yes. You have to understand the special tones of sarcasm that sound very similar to my normal speaking tone, because that's part of the joke. What was I saying? I've forgotten. Mjolnir says, is there a way to make solely chat on YouTube bigger? You mean the chat text that's on the screen? I don't know. Better hide that big ass forehead. Thank you, Drishal. I appreciate that. That's why I'm wearing a hat. Something Geeks is a manager show. Yes, I've forgotten already. I was talking about Crafty Geeks, but that's good enough now. So, Gunn says, who's the director of photography? Me. And my finger, when I click the shutter button to make it focus on my face before I start the stream. So, yeah, it's not super good quality. I have a Panasonic Lumix something camera. I don't remember the model. Gunn says, and the boom operator? No, it's me here. However, I do have my producer here who keeps trying to tell me that I should be advertising like Amazon services. And I haven't decided if I'm going to do that yet. No, I can't do that. Why? Anyway. They don't listen. I have to keep my reputation. I can't be doing the things that my corporate handlers tell me to do. Minas Mazar says, we can see the white beard. You're becoming too old for that. Yeah, I am. I think, yeah, I've gone way more white over the last couple years. Judy says, could be worse. It could be Azure. Don't get them started. Okay, don't do that. Don't mention Azure. I've already had to talk them down off that one too. Good acting. Why do you think I'm acting? We're not acting here. There's really somebody over there. White or wide? Wide probably too. Yes. I don't really get out of the chair very much. Like, you see me here right now, and I'm basically just here all day. So, camera or not, I'm just sitting here talking to myself as if the camera was on. Yes, I'm seeing things. I don't know what medicine I'm taking that is causing it, but I'm seeing things. Show the person, neurotransmission says, I can't do that because it's not a part of the contract that I signed. Because, you know, I get a monthly stipend from my corporate overlords who are, you know, they're trying to help the free software ecosystem by paying content creators to, you know, talk about interesting topics and then slide in, you know, corporate service offerings. Antonio says, is Emacs 30 PGTK still slow on 4K monitors? I don't have that problem. Neurotransmission says, is it Oracle? I don't know. I can't say. I can't say. Judy says, just a quick reminder, we're 35 minutes into the stream. Yeah, I know. I'm just rambling, right? We're having fun, right? It's Friday. To me, it's Friday evening. So, you know, I'm just thinking right now about the delicious food that I'm going to eat after. Blink once if I need help. I can't blink because they've literally taped my eyelids open so that I can look at AWS ads for 3 hours a day. Kind of like that movie, what's it called? Clockwork Orange. But it's more like Clockwork AWS. Thanos Apollo says, what food? Souvlaki, of course. Slow scroll? No, I haven't had that problem. I don't know if you can see this, but I mean, it scrolls pretty good. Oh, you're talking about Emacs. Well, pixel scrolling, let's see, does pixel scrolling work? Let's go in this file. Pixel scroll precision mode. I mean, it seems okay. Seems okay to me. Kaliorexy, says Gun. Thank you. Presopoli. Let's see. See ya, Jabo. All right. Sorry. Let me just get back to it. We're joking around here. Sorry, Milner. I'm sure that the pixelation went a little bit wild there because I'm kind of streaming this screen over to the other computer for the purpose of the stream. And CMAX says corporate overlords is not equal to the wife, right? Well, no, she's not a corporate overlord, but she's certainly concerned if I'm getting the paychecks from the corporate overlords. Because I'm crazy. I'm just like, jumping off into the unknown here. So let me get back to it. So let's talk about the System Crafters Crafter Ring. So if you want to join a 1990s style web ring, it's not really 1990s style. I mean, it's modern kind of thing now. Go check out the Crafter Ring, which is a project that's put on by Shom, and Benoit is helping with the maintenance there. But it is basically a web ring for System Crafters community sites. So if you want to add your website to the list of sites here, you can. And basically what happens is that those folks who have added their site to the Crafter Ring, if you go to one of their pages, let's go to Thanos' page, because Thanos was just talking here. At the bottom, there's a Crafter Ring set of links, and if you click right on there, then it's going to take you to the next one, which is Kaka Farm, which is Cal 2001 site. So basically, you can just sort of cycle through the list of all the System Crafters community websites. So if you want to have your site listed there, then hop on over to the Craftering repo and send a pull request. I believe there's also a way to just file an issue, and someone on the repo can add your site. Trev says, Kaka Farm always gets me good. Yeah, that's branding right there. It's good stuff. CMAX says, I don't have par edit in my ERC buffers. Nor do I. Okay, so can we get started now? Can we get started? It's okay, all right, okay. So today, what we're gonna do is try to integrate Sway with Emacs. And I'm saying we're infecting Sway with Emacs because what we're gonna do is have Emacs be like a festering wound inside of Sway and hook into its functionality to control it and to, make it submit to the power of Emacs Lisp. So the way we're going to do that, I guess, is in two ways. Number one is we're going to power the Swaybar. If I hold the super key here, which is my mod key, you can see the panel here at the top. That is Swaybar. That's a built-in thing with Sway. I think it's built in. And it's a very simple panel. Doesn't do a whole lot. It basically can just shell out to a program to get the contents that should be displayed here. So this clock here is basically just shelling out to the time function. Let me check my config real quick. So Swaybar or bar. Yeah, so it's just calling the date command and running that in a loop effectively every second. So because of the design of this, it stands to reason that you could also shell out to Emacs client, which could talk to your running Emacs session and then pull whatever information you want out of Emacs to display there. If you saw my video about hooking up Polybar with Emacs Lisp 3-4 years ago in the EXWM series, it's a similar concept where you have some functions that are defined in your Emacs Lisp and you can call them via the shell out functionalities of the panel. But the difference about the Swaybar is that pretty much the whole thing is controlled by this output. Not only that, you can send out just normal text, and the text will be displayed as the sort of elements in the bar there. But there's also a JSON format that you can use to do even further customization, and that's what is being used by this i3 blocks program. Probably if you've used i3 or Sway before, you've probably heard of i3 blocks. It's basically a collection of implementations of these kind of Let me just copy this. I haven't gotten my link clicking to browser setup working right yet. It just gives you a bunch of different blocks that you can set up in your i3 bar, and the Swaybar will just shell into or call to this program and then get the output and put it into the bar. We're basically going to do the same thing, just Emacs Lisp. Not all of it. We're going to do some of it. You know, whatever's interesting, like let's say battery status, time, maybe any interesting status information from Emacs, maybe like buffers that are being tracked, like maybe your IRC chat buffers could be there, anything. Another thing we can try to do is to, something simple. Let's try to set the Sway theme colors based on the Emacs theme colors. And the way that I'm going to try to do that is through the sway.el package, which I mentioned before. This is basically a package that doesn't do a whole lot other than hook up to the socket that the Sway process provides as a, sort of an API to call into it. That's basically what the Sway message command at the command line is doing, is using the socket to send commands to Sway. But this package allows us to connect directly to that socket without having to pay the cost of creating a new process to do it for us. So I don't really know. I haven't tried this yet, but we can give it a shot. The purpose of this package apparently is to make it so that certain Emacs buffers can be popped up into frames that get controlled by Sway. I don't really have a need for that because I tend to use things a little bit more simply, but the underlying behavior that gives you access to the Sway socket is interesting for the purpose of setting theme colors, but also any other kind of control that you want to do from within Emacs. You want to create or delete workspaces, or move windows around, or anything. I don't know, set input settings. There's all kinds of stuff that you could do. All right, let me check the chat real quick. Zoli says, your baseball hat is an instant get. Yeah, this is pretty cool, right? It's a different one than the other one that I'm normally wearing. I decided today I would wear this one. These things will be on the store site at some point soon. I gotta manage my priorities a little bit better here. They'll be there soon though, for sure. Let's see, Geeks Deploy looks quite promising, says Blitzpark. Yeah, Geeks Deploy is cool, but the thing is that you have to have a way to deploy the configuration, and right now there's only I think there's two built-in ways of deploying things. One is like an SSH based deployment, and the other is you could deploy an image to DigitalOcean. I think that there need to be more implementations of Geeks Deploy. So that's something we could work on in streams at some point. Dean says, how does Geeks handle cargo packages? Do they just package Rust up, or they also curate the crates? They have a package per crate, and they build them specifically. So it is a little bit, it's hard to package things for Rust packages for Geeks, just because of the fact that you have the kind of fragmentation that you have in other communities like that. Dave says, +1 to more people implementing more stuff for Geeks Deploy. Yeah, I was going to write like a Vultr deploy backend, but after they decided they want to steal all your data to feed to an AI, I decided not to use them anymore. So it'll be someone else if I were to implement something. Maybe I'll just use DigitalOcean instead. I don't know. No. Told you. I'm not talking about AWS right now. Okay. Thanks. Shom says, is any of that info controlled through dbus so you can control it based on system-wide theme? I don't think so. Trev says, is this guy stalling because he forgot how to code? No. Of course not. It's not like, they're holding my entire financial future in their hands or anything. The owner says, I'm starting to get concerned for Dave. Don't be concerned. Everything's fine. Trust me. Dean says the Vultr thing was bad. Yeah, it was quite a surprise. You log in to your Vultr portal, and it gives you a big pop-up saying you must agree to the new terms of service to get to the portal. So you can't even get into the portal to cancel your service without agreeing to the terms. It seems a little bit shady to me. Neurotransmission says Bezos is in his house. Yeah, he's flexing too. Like, it's a little bit scary. You know, he took his yacht, his mega yacht, over to Mykonos, and then on the way back, you know, to go to the US, he had to stop here and strong arm me into promoting AWS. Let's see. Showham says, "You be nice. We have a nice reputation to hold up in his community building talk in May." Yeah, I'm gonna ruin that. It's okay. It's all good. So let's get to it. So what we'll do, we're gonna try the Swaybar thing first. So the first thing we need to do, obviously, is just create a source file. And where will I do that? Let's just create a new project folder. How about that? So dear Ed. Yes. What just happened? That was interesting. Projects, code. Let's create a new folder here. We're going to create a folder called swaybar.el. Let's start with that. Okay. Okay. So what I would like to do with this is have a similar design to kind of like the format for the mode line and for the tab bar mode, like the global string, whatever. What is it called? The tab global format. There's some other format here, like tab bar format. Anyway, to have like one of those mode line format listings where you can have things that you can sort of add and remove from the list to show text, but we'll get to that. So first of all, defun swaybar get status. Probably a terrible name, and I'm gonna be writing code that looks like Scheme because I was writing Scheme today, and now I have to switch to Emacs Lisp, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. Now, let's just start with hello crafters. This is what we'll do. We'll get the basics working. Oh, returns output that will be consumed by Swaybar. Yeah, we need to do that. Okay, and then let's do a little test here. Emacs client, what is it? Why am I hanging? Rochelle says swaybar.el as the name of a folder. Yes, because this is an Emacs package. Let's see. Yes, Boo says that's Scheme syntax. Yeah, I know. I'm already getting myself into trouble. Swaybar. Why is it hanging? What is happening? I think some completion is trying to kick in, and it's locking up. What did I call that? Let's actually do this. Okay, swaybar get status. Is that gonna work? That's so strange. Okay, let me remember what the parameters are for Emacs client. So -e is definitely eval. There was something else too. Don't display return values from the server. I might need those. So let me see. A meta-x garbage collect? I don't think I'm there yet. Did I not just use -e? Oh, -c. We're getting off to a real good start here. Symbols value as variable is void. Swaybar get status. Great. I should probably eval that code before I start trying to call it, right? Symbols. Oh, do I really? Okay, I gotta have an actual expression and not just a function name. There's some other. Okay, there we go. Hello crafter. Symbols value. What am I doing wrong? Symbols value as variable is void. Hello. This is a string, dude. Return it. That's really weird. Quote it? I shouldn't have to quote this. Are you talking about the Swaybar get status? Oh, crap. Yes, that's... That's the problem here. I'm in eShell doing this. Okay, so eShell. Yes, Judy says eShell fun. That's right. I am calling the function inside of eShell. Wonderful. There it is. So can I do this a little bit differently? Because I did something really stupid the last time I tried this. Does this work? No, it doesn't go to standard out. I wish it did. Because I don't like having to post-process the quotation marks off the string. I don't think there was ever a way to get rid of that. Fine, whatever. We'll just deal with it. So that's good. So we have hello crafters. Oh, I never did reeval that either. There we go. So now I can go into my sway config. If I were to split this window, hey, fine. Let's go over here and then go to config. Here in status command, I can change this. And then call Emacs client -e. Now let's just put that in parens anyway. Swaybar get status. Now, if I were to make this a fully fledged thing, I'd probably create a script that I could call into and not have to call Emacs client directly here, but it's fine. The thing is, though, we need a way to continue invoking it. So we may need a script after all. Let me copy this and undo what I did. I need that loop. So let's actually just copy this part here. And then right about here, just drop this in and then delete the previous stuff. I think I need to get rid of this. Okay. That should be enough. And I go down here and get rid of that line as well. And we will restart the sway config. Error, reading from status command. I wonder why. So how about this? Let's try this first. Okay, so foo. That part is working correctly. I don't know why this is not. I may need to create a script for this. I can't speak. Time to reboot? We're not rebooting. Did I maybe single quote? Did I try this? Oh. While echo. Oh, do I need to do that? That's not going to work though, is it? Okay, let's take that out. What? Oh, I missed the do. Is that what happened? While true, semicolon. You can see that I'm an expert at shell scripting. Is that right? Yeah, that one didn't do it that way. Okay, so this while date, I see. Maybe it's going based on the exit code. Is that probably what it's doing? Now let's go back the other direction. What the hell? All right, so what is the exit code that comes out of that? I'm guessing that's part of what's happening here. Oh, do I have multiple do's? Is that what happened? While true. So is this good? It's going great. Going great so far. Let's actually create a script because I think this is not gonna work out. Let's see, Emacs Swaybar. And in this script, I can probably do the ripping off of the, need a second quote. Yeah, I think I screwed it up pretty good here. Let me actually just do this as a bash script and we'll be able to tell. So while true, I'm not an expert shell scripter. Does this work though in bin.sh? All right, that should do fine. Sleep 1. Done. All right. So let's do this instead. So I'm gonna say home David Will projects code swaybar.el / emacs-swaybar. And then I need to I'm gonna put the header line on here. So add file prop line mode is shmode. Does that work like that though? Huh? Normal mode. Okay, that works. Cool. Good enough. So that is good. Let's go into eShell and chmod x is Emacs Swaybar, Emacs Swaybar. Syntax token, yeah, of course. So that's working. Let's try this here then. Why is it spinning? Ah, okay. So now we see Hello Crafters in the bar. Hey, case. Is it chewing my CPU though? I wonder. Sway is. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's as a result. Excuse me. Jeez. If that is as a result of my script, I guess it would be. No, because the program is just running constantly. Okay, so we have the Swaybar get status running. It's interesting how it just keeps spinning like that. It's probably not a good idea what I'm doing, but we're gonna try it anyway. All right, so next thing to do is to try to rip the quotation marks off the end. I actually have something for that in sites, systemcrafters.net, content, videos, desktop environment. Adding a panel. I think I'm using awk for that or something. Said. There we go. Let's just steal what I did before because I don't feel like looking it up. So here we go. We'll copy that and we'll go into Emacs Swaybar. We're piping this through said so that we can take the quotation marks off the beginning and the end of the string, so that the hello crafters is not wrapped in quotes. And that does work, as we can see there. So it says hello crafters. Nice. So that's the first step, getting something in there. So what's next? Maybe I want to try to get the battery status or the time. So how about that? Let's format the time string. Let's just get some basic stuff implemented, and then we can go back and flesh it out a little bit. Is there a string append in Emacs Lisp? Christ. Concat. I think concat does 2 strings, so hello rafters. All right, so then if I go back here, is it going to do it? If I re-eval this, does it work? Yes, it works. Good. Okay, so now we can update the output as it's running, which is cool. I'm struggling to speak. Yes, I have not had enough sleep. This is part of the problem here. Excuse me for my inability to form complete sentences and make my mouth comply with my demands. So what I'll do is, let's see, format time string. I wonder if I can use that same string I was using before. Shom says, you're doing great. Thanks so much for the kind encouragement, Shom. I appreciate it. So let's do format time string, and then we'll throw a little space in between. Maybe I should move this up. How about this? So also battery. There was something for battery before that I had seen. Battery, battery, where is it? Does it have to be loaded? Battery, dbus? Battery status function, okay. So there are different functions for getting the battery status. And since you have uPower turned on, I think I can use that. All right, so if I could try to run battery, what? Battery uPower. Is that not an actual function? Defun. Yeah, it's here. Why is it not loaded? Let's go back to Swaybar. I'm gonna manually require. There we go. Okay, so battery uPower. Cool. So we have the battery percentage somewhere. Where is it? Not available, fully charged. Now these numbers here at the front, they must mean something else. I don't know what those mean. There must be IDs of some sort. Let me try one of the other ones. Maybe they're all in the same format. So battery ACPI, Linux, battery Linux proc ACPI. Ooh, not available. So that doesn't work. Battery proc Linux proc APM. That also doesn't have a whole lot of information. Don't know why. sysfs. That has some information. It looks like I have... this must be seconds right here. Like amount of time remaining, I would guess. And then we have full charge, 100%. And on AC power. Gun says, watch out, wrong argument, short circuit. Yeah, I'm not going to be setting anything here. I'm only going to be reading it. So hopefully we won't blow up my computer today. So what we can do, what was the format of that again? Let's grab that. And also try to remember which one I actually called. Let's go to the end, copy the text. I will paste it here. I will also comment that out. So, what the hell? These things must have specific meaning, these numbers. So probably they're the same across all of the implementations. They would have to be, I guess. So we can just look them up by the ID. Fantastic. I'm not going to do that for the whole thing. So we want 66. Man, you know, sometimes I hit Control Z, and that's supposed to suspend the frame. Man, I'm dead. It's supposed to suspend the frame. And when it does that, Sway doesn't actually suspend the frame. It doesn't minimize it, but the cursor goes like translucent. And it starts acting weird. Einar says, I've actually stopped using a bar and only use a few shell scripts that I launch with keyboard shortcuts when I need something people would use a bar for. Yeah, I agree with that. That's sort of my mindset on using system tray apps. I've been using system tray apps for certain things, and I think I'm just not going to do that anymore, especially because it doesn't work very well in Swaybar. Okay, so message. No, we don't want message. We want format. So format, we're just do a little simple format here. Maybe I want to try to extract the battery information. Can I just make that a function? Defun Swaybar get battery status. And then I can use a let here and try to extract everything out. Maybe even a let star, let's say. Is there a way, a more convenient way to do this? Yes, Judy makes a good point. I think that I probably should use the one that they're providing instead. Sorry, the one that is being automatically selected or selected by the user. So we get the right information. So here we're going to get the battery status. Can I call battery like that? No. I mean, I can just take that whole string, but I don't want to do that. But we can actually inspect it and see what it has in it. Battery format. Ooh. Let's use that. That's fantastic. Why make my own thing when I can just use that? Format spec, format, a list, delete. Okay, that's cool. But how does it work? There it is. Okay, so these are the format variables, it seems. So battery format. And which one is it using? Battery status function. Okay. Cool. So battery format. Fun call. Battery status function. No. Maybe I should do that first. Does that work? Yeah, okay. So battery format, and then L online. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Let me do this in the code then. I don't need to do any destructuring, which is great. We forgive you, Case. Case says, sorry I've been gone for a while. Yeah, dude, where you been, man? Where you been? People have been asking about you in the chat. So you've left a legacy in the System Crafters chat and in the streams that, nobody's been able to fill. Battery echo area format customization may help. Yeah, I'll take a look at that too. So let's do battery format here. Yep, Judy's got it too. Let me take a look at that. Remaining time to charge or discharge in hours, minutes, seconds. So I like T. We had a case-shaped hole. That's right. Oh, battery status function. Yes. I don't know why it didn't complete. Oh, it's because I've got a string open and it doesn't know that this is still an expression. Okay. All right. ACDW says, is there an i3.el that's like sway.el? I don't know. Okay, so we were saying battery echo area format. Okay, cool. So we got T, power L. Let's just grab the same variables and see what it looks like. B. Online, fully charged. I don't like the descriptions though. Let's see. Percentage. 100%. Charging. We could put the %B right here, maybe. Sorry. I didn't do anything. Battery status. Empty means high. Oh, okay. That's actually pretty useful, I think. We have battery load percentage, line status, power saving mode. Maybe all we really need is whether it's charging and what the percentage is and how much time it has left. So let's go with this. I'm just going to go with very simple format like that. And is it there already? No. Let's reeval this expression, and then it should be there. Cool. So we got the battery status and we've got the date in the same format that I had before. We need to have a little bit of a spacing there. Maybe we can add more spacing. Now I think that we should be able to colorize these sections if we use the JSON format. So we can look into that in a little bit. There's also a way to like click these sections and have it do something. And I'm not sure how that works, but we'll see. But I mean, already we've got information in here and it doesn't seem to be killing my computer. I don't know if that's true or not. The CPU usage is probably mainly from Chromium casting my screen to the other computer for the stream. So okay. So we got time, we got battery. What else did I want to put in here? We could put like tracking information. Tracking, RCIRC. Let me see. So RCIRC track miner mode. How does it work? Global mode string. Is that what it's called? RCIRC activity string. I would have to walk that list probably with mapcar and get the buffer names. Actually, I want it to be formatted in the correct way. That's not right, is it? Oh, that one. Okay. Check this out. Ooh. Does it have like oh, okay. We need to get the buffer. No, what's it called? String properties, substring no properties. Potentially we could change those properties into something, but there we go. Now you can see my IRC buffer status up here in the tab bar, which in the bar, which is kind of cool. That will be supremely distracting. What if I turn off the track miner mode? It still seems to be working, but I'm actually I'm in the buffer for System Preppers Live, and it's not removing things. So I don't know if it's actually being updated if the track miner mode is off. Let's try that. Still, yeah, this is in Swaybar. So I'm just piping this information directly in. This is all that it takes in the end. Like I'm only just, you know, throwing some strings at it. And that's the basics for now. And we can get rid of this little bit here. So what else? Well, I think we should try the JSON format now. So let's take a look at the docs for the i3 bar protocol. I think I'm missing an L there. Do you remember when some websites had like .htm files as the file name for the files of the website? That was a nice little Microsoft-ism, wasn't it? First time I ever saw that was like with IIS, the IIS server, or any... I think that's right, isn't it? Wasn't the HTML thing from Microsoft? Probably because Windows couldn't do 4-letter file extensions, I would bet. Were there ever more than 3 letters in a file extension in Windows back in the Windows 95 days? Kay says a lot of the dealerships I work with still have HTML stuff. They're probably running like a Windows 2000 server for their website. That would be hilarious. Yeah, Fade says anything that had to be stored on DOS or Windows, it was only a 3-letter extension. See, there we go. Windows just ruins the day. Okay, let's see. Rationale for choosing JSON. I don't care about rationale. I just want to see the output. So, is this going to be more complicated? Here's an example. Full text, color. Cool. So the code for JSON, a list JSON. How do you get that? List JSON. JSON decode list encode. Okay, JSON encode list. So JSON encode list. I'm going to give it an A list, or let's say a list of A lists. Why? Oh. Why are there 2 of them? That example makes no sense. All right, anyway. So it seems that there's like a series of blocks. And they have like multiple objects inside. So if we do a list of lists and then have an A list inside, let's say, full text. I wonder if that needs to be a symbol. Full text foo. Okay, that's not enough of a depth, so I'm going to add another list in because I think I need another list here. That looks more like what we're looking for. So then, do I need to have the version part in it? Minimal example, all features example. What follows is an infinite array. Yeah. Is there like a full example somewhere? Example of a block. That's cool. That's fine. This is not a good specification in my opinion. The first message of the protocol is a header block, which contains at least the version of the protocol to be used. Okay, so you have to send that first. What follows is an infinite array, so it should be parsed by a streaming JSON parser. As described above, you can go for a simpler solution. Where is it described above? So do you just keep writing it out? So it calls the process and it just keeps writing it out? That'd be kind of weird if it's the case. Well, it sounds like partial JSON, but what I'm wondering is, I get the impression that you can have i3 or Sway launch the process one time, and then you just keep the process alive, and you just keep writing information, like write information forever. Yes, Case says it sounds like XMPP. Yeah, I think that's the idea. Is like you're just sending lists of blocks over and over, and that's the reason why this example looked weird, because it is the same blocks. It's the same block sent more than once in the time series. So then, if we want to do it this way, the question becomes how do you do that without blocking Emacs? I guess what you do. No, it doesn't work, does it? Because you would have to be writing the standard out. Case says open a FIFO and write to it. I don't know. Case says hot take, JSON is just worse XML because XML has tag names. FIFOs don't block, yeah, I know, but I don't know that I can give one to it can't be made into standard out of the Emacs client process, I don't think. Boo says, is Emacs writing to standard error? That's a good question. I don't think so, but it might be. We could try that and see. Minas Mazer says, Emacs client process cannot exit. Maybe you have to move the sleep loop into the eList function. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I need to use, like, what's it called? Run at time. Or run, is it like timer? Run with timer, run with idle timer. So if I use run with timer, I can definitely like have something that is sort of happening asynchronously in the background for some interval. That would work fine. I only just need to make sure I get the correct output written out so that So I think what Case is saying could work. It's really hacky though. Hi Fab. It's really hacky. I think if what I did is in the Emacs Swaybar script, instead of doing the loop, I call into Emacs client. Can I do that as a background process or no? Or if I can generate, okay. Here's the idea. Have, okay, so create a temporary file or pipe. Pass the file path to Emacs via Emacs client. Emacs client initiates a timer and then returns immediately to not block shell script. Shell script runs tail on the file so that it's written out to standard out. Maybe. That could work. It really seems kind of, you know, ridiculous. I don't know much about FIFO though. It says, what are we even doing here? This seems pretty janky. Yeah, it's janky. That's the whole point. It's incredibly janky. Can you do that in Emacs? It says, is that a new thing? It's definitely not a new thing. This case says, Fade, is it your first day using Linux? No. I mean, it's definitely not his first day being here on a live stream. All right, so let's see. Many ways to pipe to Emacs. This is Steb Alien's blog, by the way. Steb Alien is a contributor to EXWM. Can't read from a named pipe, but it can read standard output from a process. That seems a little bit too much. Can I use make FIFO in the console? Get out of my face. Cat. Create a named pipe with make FIFO. Oh, shell command cat. Interesting. Okay, so you can do it the other way around. Emacs write to FIFO. Like, I literally don't know what I'm doing here. Writing to a FIFO buffer. That's not right. So it's like a two-way buffer. It looks like you can just open the file and write to it like any other file, right? Yeah, right, Judy. I think that the idea behind this design is that you you don't want to run the status command over and over and over again because you have to spawn a process, and that's all the you know, there's a lot of overhead. So if we create a FIFO and then tell Emacs to write to it, maybe I need to delete it if it exists already. This is going to be a lot of fun. Let's just see what happens. I mean, we've got how much time left? 30 minutes. Let's just see what happens here if I do this and maybe it doesn't work. Hey, Scott. Okay, so make the FIFO in the current directory, let's say. Why not just get the status from Sway? What do you mean just get the status from Sway? Why am I doing Emacs client E? Because I'm calling into Emacs to generate the status. Scott says, I have all day. Let's do another 2 hours. I don't, unfortunately. This case says, what? Case, have you not been watching what we've been doing the whole time here? It returns some information. Yeah, it returns the whole status bar. So I'm trying to like get this whole process started. All right, let's try this. Get status. Okay, we'll do a different function. I have not, he says. Okay. You're absolved. Swaybar start loop. I don't care. Let's just write it. Let's get it working, and then I will go change all the code to fix it. So Swaybar start loop. I want it to take a file, FIFO path, let's say. Now, I suppose I need to create a buffer for that file. So get file buffer, is that what it is? Return the buffer visiting file name a string. Does it create the buffer otherwise? Must match the expansion if there's no live buffer. Okay. Do I just use find file no select? Read file name into a buffer and return the buffer. If a buffer exists, visiting file name, return that one, but verify that the file has not been changed since visited or saved. I don't know. Let's try it though. Find file no select. This is probably not going to work. I'm going to have to resolve this path. So when I do that, then I can start writing things to it. So let's see. I need to do something like I was doing before. Let me find that stuff that I had here. I'll copy that text. I'll write this out. So first of all, I need to write the version header. JSON encode. Okay, so we got an object. What is an object in this case? Is it an A-list? Should have a structure like the one returned by JSON read. Okay, so it's probably an A-list. Let me check. Yeah, it's an A-list with symbols. All right. Okay, says I just tried to open a FIFO in Emacs and it did not like it. Maybe. Yeah, that's a great point, Shom. Let me go into my config and mode hide. Let's turn mode hide off. There we go. Error reading from status command because I made it very angry. So is it just making FIFOs like all day long here? Error reading from status command. Interesting. Okay, it's still the same file. Why is there an error? Who knows why? Let's go back to what we had before. Just verify. Okay, so the previous thing is working still. So there's got to be an easier way to do this. There's got to be. Main. I just want to check out the code. Because they're probably doing the same thing. They're just writing out to standard out. Printf. Where is the entry point? Bar init. Is that right, Gun? I didn't know that. Bar create, bar load, bar poll. Bar print. Where is that? Minas Mazer says, I think that's because the process should not exit with echo, it quits. Oh, maybe. Let me go back and fix my sed so that I don't get in trouble with the experts of sed. What is TR? Is that another command? Now, here's the thing. Do I have TR in Geeks? Okay, you're lucky. You're lucky I have TR. Where is it? TRD? You see how little I know about the standard core utils commands, or whatever this is. All right. Okay, it still seems to work, which tells me that that did the right thing. All right. Getting a lot of confirmation that this is core utils. You got to know core utils. I just use Emacs all day. Why don't I need core utils? Okay, so we're back to trying to think about how to put things out on standard out in a way that can be printed, that can be read back by the Swaybar. So we got to write this JSON format out, and it's basically a long-running process. I do think we need a file or something. The opposite way to do this is to have a function that can create a temporary file, like temporary, let's see, with temporary file, right? Temporary, oh, I need to control HO, with temp file. Create a new buffer, evaluate body there, and write, oh, that's not what I wanted. With temp buffer, your temporary buffer and evaluate body there. I need a temporary file. So temp file, make temp file, create a temporary file. Okay. Oh, replace that with sed. Yeah, so we're going back to where we started. But yeah, I mean, we don't want it to take out any quotation marks. Whatever. I'm not going to bother with that right now. I think that we're okay. So if I can run make temp file, does it actually create the file, or is it just give me a file name? Okay. So make temp file foo. And it's a name. I don't think this file actually exists, though. Oh, it does exist. That's okay. Not a problem. All right, so we got a little file there that we can use. If I print that file out as a result, then the shell script can read it. In the same way. Me too, alternate bed. So once again, we will do that. And then Emacs client. Let's just do this. So we need to store this into a variable. So I'm going to say temp file equals, and then do a subshell on this, and also go back to the thing here that I need to delete. Okay, so I've got the subshell. I need to change the code. Swaybar and init, let's just call it. I don't know. I don't care. And I'll throw this into a let output file. Or output path even. So in the end, I'll return output file because I want that to come out in the shell output so that the script can get it. But we also need to create a buffer for that. So we'll also do the find file no select. There needs to be a way to kill this though. I need to create a binding here. So output buffer. And now we've got a output file and an output buffer. And then we need to start writing things to the output buffer. We need to, first of all, we also need to set the lexical scoping on in this file. Is it by default now? Might be default now. I've forgotten whether it's default. We want that. Maybe we don't need it explicitly for this, but I throw it in there. Why is this complaining? Oh, unused lexical variable. Fine, whatever. Run at time. Time. Can I give it seconds? Number of seconds from now. 1 second from now, I'm going to run repeat true. Function. Give it a lambda. Yeah, let's do a slightly different thing here. Define Swaybar write status. Wonder if I could use with temp file for that. With current buffer. Insert output. I mean, just as simple as that, right? Is that enough? CF8 and cow. And write status, we'll probably need to use this. So we'll need buffer. And we'll call Swaybar write. And then we need to have a list. This ended up being a little bit more complicated than I expected. I didn't really look into the i3 bar format until now, so we had more time, it would be easy to get something done, but 2 hours is really not enough time to develop anything non-trivial, let's say. So Swaybar, I noticed that Scott said in the chat, I just got a new gaming monitor and you look much better, David. No offense. Oh, okay. Thanks. It just needed higher resolution. That's all. So, Swaybar, write status and output buffer. This is going to be a problem too. Because at some point I'm going to want to start this stop this timer. I had started writing another thing. Let me just see. Like, what did I do in that other project? So .emacs.d modules dw timer. Yeah, I had a nice little setup going here. This is something we can look at another time. I basically made it like a stopwatch timer for a buffer, and I'm using, what is it? Where is it? Run with timer. Okay. But I can make it cancelable. Yeah, run with timer needs to not repeat. I think that's a trick. It should not repeat, and you should manually re-invoke it whenever it's time to run it again. That way, you can always cancel it. So we'll just do that. Run at time 1. And because run at time will free up the event loop, then output file will be returned back to the shell script. If we could just get the basic proof of concept working here, it will be good enough. So first what we want to do is to use Swaybar. Where is it? No, we're not doing the FIFO thing. Here we go. So Swaybar write. We need to write the first little version thing. So there was what? Version... Just version 1. Okay, I guess that's enough. Version 1. And this is just a plain old A list of one field. JSON and code will give me version 1. And I think that's good enough. That seems like it would be sufficient. I call that with Swaybar write, then it will say with current buffer, and then it will insert the output. So I also need to probably save the buffer after everything I write. Save buffer. Save the current buffer visited if modified. Basic save buffer if it's been modified. Yes, so I think basic save buffer, because I don't want it to be doing like hooks and weird stuff. So I'll eval that. I will eval this. I don't want to do anything just yet. Let's return nil. We'll run Swaybar init. Okay, that should be good. So let's go back to this shell, E shell. I'm going to try to run that script. Oh, actually, let's do this first. So Swaybar init is what I called it, right? Swaybar init, no parameters, good. What if I run that? Swaybar init. Wrong number of arguments? No. Oh, something I called in there has a wrong number of arguments. Output file, wrong number of arguments, save current buffer. It's in the let. Save the current buffer. What? Okay, Swaybar write. Did I give, oh, I gave the wrong number of parameters. Buffer output, where was it? Right there. Okay, so output buffer. And then temp Emacs, which one was it? UNB. That one. Okay, version 1. I probably need a new line at the end of that. So anything that I write out probably should have, is there a new line function? Yeah, okay, cool. Great. So now, if I go to the shell, I should be able to, or at least a script. Where is it? Emacs Swaybar, right here. So we got temp file. Is that gonna work? We have temp file. That should get the file name tail f. Is tail f what I'm looking for? Capital F. Output appended as file grows. Okay, just dash f. All right, so let's do that. Tail f temp file. That should be enough, I think. If I'm not completely insane. Emacs Swaybar. Temp file not found. Did I not just set it? Did I do that wrong? Oh, it needs to be like an equal sign immediately. There it is. Okay, so we got some output. Let's see. We'll have to start it over again, but that's a good start. So here I will call, and it needs to be the lambda again. I think what I did in the other project that I was working on is that I have an update function that takes the update function as a parameter. But maybe that's a little bit too wacky for what we're trying to do here. We still need a way to stop it, though. And how would we cancel that? I think, is there a way, shell script react to signal? There must be a way to do that, right? Signal handling in a shell script. Trap. Does it work though if you're running tail? Capture the pit of sleep, kill, define the handler for SIGINT. Okay. Gotcha. That will be something to try later. Yes, I do have to get good at shell script. I haven't learned much recently. I want to. I need to require JSON. Just to make it happy. Shell shocked. Shell crafter channel. Do it, Case. You're the reigning bash expert here. Okay, we got like, let's say 5 minutes. I got to get something writing out now. Just to prove the point that it can be done. But I think it's, you know, it's getting there. It's possible that this could work. I just need a way to cancel Swaybar. Maybe I won't get to that now, but there still needs to be a way to cancel it. Because you don't want to have these things just... like, you don't want, like, 15 loops going on in the background. Judy says, sorry, I haven't actually been useful. Well, you've been perfectly useful. You've had plenty of useful things that you've told me in the chat. I haven't really been paying attention to the chat recently, though. Gunn was suggesting a kind of a crazy incantation for the shell, which I'm sure was a joke. We're talking about PowerShell now. Don't give me PTSD, please. I only say that because I used to be on the PowerShell team at Microsoft. All right, so. No, it works. It looks a little bit too wild to actually do anything useful. So the problem here is that I want a way to cancel this. Maybe I just need a stupid variable. Defun, Swaybar, loop running. This is what we're going to do for right now. And then later we'll make something. No, it's not defun. We'll make something def bar. I definitely need that right now. Yeah. Are you serious? Okay. So Swaybar loop running. What I want to do is call itself again. Yeah, that's good enough. So here's what we'll do. Swaybar update. First of all, we need to set queue Swaybar loop running to T. Then call Swaybar update. What that's going to do is run Well, let's just we're gonna write that whole list of lists kind of thing. And we're just gonna turn them into A lists. So this is gonna be an A list of, was it full bill? Brain is failing. Full what? Full text. Full text paired with, let's just add this battery format. Just to see if something works, okay? Okay, so Swaybar loop running. We're gonna have to store the, oh, you know what? There's another way to deal with this. Def var swaybar, what is it? Output buffer nil. This is probably the better way to do that. So swaybar, and then we will do this right here. Okay, so we won't save that. We're going to set the output buffer. We got to do that before here, though. Maybe I don't need to pass along the buffer either. I don't know. I don't like it too much. Swaybar output buffer. Let's just, be a little bit more clean. Okay, so we set the output buffer to find file no select. And then run at time. We're going to give it all right, that should be enough to get it started. And then when swaybar output buffer, and that's the way we know that we can actually write something because we have a buffer available. So we need an item. Oh, that's wrong. So there we go. And then here, after the lambda, list, what? There we go. Okay. Now the question is, will this work? We're going to find out. We're going to find out by going into eShell and running the script directly. I don't see anything being written out yet. Anything in the error? Okay. That's interesting. Let's inspect the state of things. There's a buffer. We call update. Oh. So yeah, I think we can skip that too. How about this right here? And is that all the parameters that are needed here? Run at time, repeat, function. We call swaybar update. Swaybar init. All right, let's try this again. Come on, man. Is it hanging on something? should have written the first output, because the value is set. Wouldn't the Emacs client call block because the call is running in loop? No, because the loop is done with a timer, which is on a background thread, apparently. Or it's being pushed into the event loop, so this should immediately return. Let's try this. Message. Interestingly, it's not doing what I expected to. Defun, Swaybar, and knit. Is this running Swaybar and knit? Yep. It must be hanging, though, because it's not actually writing anything out to standard out. Yeah, it's not doing anything because it's stuck. But, weird that it's not actually writing anything out. How about we try that? That's weird. We'll do this then. Oh. All right, so that worked. So it must be actually... Hold on a second. Run at time. Do I need to make this to be a float? Number of seconds. I might need to do that. Nope. It's weird that it still gets stuck like that. Well, what if we take out the loop? Perhaps. Still the same thing. I don't know which part of it is hanging it. Icarus says there's wrong syntax. There can't be spaces. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, this is not a FIFO. This is a normal file. We're just using a normal file here. We're not using a FIFO. Shouldn't need a separate thread. I don't think that... we're not doing anything that should block things up. Because we're not reading the file. Emacs is the one that's going to write the file. So you're saying we're deadlocked? I don't think so. What if I just take out both of the writes? Beyond science, this case. All right, so did I reeval that? Okay, so that does something. Oh, you know what? Let's reset this to nil. Because maybe there's something else going on here. Maybe. Not sure. Can we do this message update? Can you let me go in? Yeah, I'm not seeing it actually getting called. I must have done something really dumb. Swaybar update. If we take out the right beforehand. So is it possible that the right is doing something weird? I see update being written now. Only once, because we're not setting the timer. So right apparently is doing something weird. All right, I'm out of time. So that was a fun experiment. I think we need more time to actually get a working implementation. If you have thoughts on what we should do differently or better in this code, I'll try to put it into the show notes, and you can send me a suggestion through the usual channels, forum, etc., and let me know. I'll push it somewhere. I mean, I kind of do want to use this. I think it would be interesting to have this, but yeah, it's the current formulation is not working correctly. Out of time would be a good name for this package. Yes, we're back to the future of things not working. Leonix says, you're brave to code live with so many eyes. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I've done it so many times now that people who watch this channel are used to seeing me not complete things by the end of the stream. It happens pretty much every time. Yeah, we try. When we're actually doing multiple streams in a week, we will actually make progress and, complete some tasks and not just have things be half done every stream. Case says, yeah, I am pretty brave. I'm a great guy. Wow, I'm awesome. You're right. Is that what I said? Is that what I said? Did I? No. Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. Case said, Judy says, Case guest stream teaching David Bash. I don't know that I want to go that far. I don't think I want to have Case giving me trouble a whole stream, trying to tell me how to write Bash code. Let's do it. We'll see. Now, I have to be actually brave to do that. Not deny, come on. I just have a hard time scheduling anything that doesn't happen last minute. All right, folks. Jeez, I gotta go get some sleep now. So I hope this was somewhat entertaining or educational to some degree today. Let me know in the comments what you think, or just join us on the System Crafters IRC, or yes, the System Crafters channel in Libra Chat IRC, or on forum.systemcrafters.net. Come hang out in the community and chat with us and let us know what you think and tell me to my face how bad I am at programming on live streams. That's fine. Bash is too simple. Let's try Z Shell. No, we're not doing that. We have to stick with like the standard scripting languages, because otherwise, we might as well just be writing Guile. The entertainer. Yeah, I'm entertaining you with my failures. Which, I guess that's a valid form of entertainment. It's like a court jester. My failure is your pleasure. Okay, folks. Hope you all have a great weekend. And until next time, happy hacking. We'll see you.